Grand Rising. As as you can see, all of the nations of the world have been confederate with our downfall. And now all of the nations of the earth are confederate with hiding our restore. They're all confederate with hiding our rise. And as above, so below. They've all been confederate with hiding our growth. They've been confederate with hiding the fact that we are the only ones that can interpret the Bible. We're the only ones that can interpret what is coming. All right, we're the only ones that can be able to break down the whole statue in the book of Daniel, right? And we're the only ones that be able to break down the feet, the 10 toes, and the mixing of the clay and the sword. And as you can see, no one is coming to the Gentiles' rescue as far as some kind of a rapture, some kind of a way of getting out of this destruction that is coming. You know, you guys set other dates, and I saw a guy was talking about how, well, on the Essene calendar, this is that great day. So since when have you Gentiles been talking about the Essenes? Since when have you guys been talking about the Essenes records? Why would anything that the Essenes talked about have to deal with you Gentiles? You've done nothing. Did you guys read that Nag Hammadi? Have you guys read what's in that? Because that was a book that the Essenes had. You know, there was found the Nag Hammadi area, right? It had to deal with the Essenes, but you guys have been saying, don't read those books, don't read that information. That information is evil. That information is not canonized. That information is not approved. But all of a sudden, you want to use an Essene calendar to try to figure out a way for you to escape the destruction that is coming upon you. I said, makes absolutely no sense. But you know what? As CiAtlas gets closer and closer, we're going to be rising and getting more knowledge, and things are going to be more and more clear for us. And as CiAtlas comes closer and closer, you get more confused. You get, exposed more and more. Every single day you see how, you guys keep making up all these different dates of this. You guys try to break down the Bible. And like at this point, you guys are wrong, have been wrong about absolutely everything that you've said about the Bible. So why would anyone really even listen to anything you guys have to say? You've never been right about the scriptures. You've never proven that we only can read 66 books. You've never proven that Gentiles have authority to break down scripture. You've never really proven how we can't read the Old Testament pseudepigrapha, the Apocrypha. You haven't broken down any prophecies whatsoever, right? You haven't broken down any of that whatsoever. But still, you seem to, not be able to switch and pivot when you're wrong. You just, instead of actually like saying, like, you know what, I'm wrong, I haven't been right, we've been wrong about absolutely everything. You just listen to these Hebrews, these Israelites. They're the ones that their books were given to. They're the ones that made the covenant, and they're the only ones that are going to be able to give us any type of mercy if we cleave on to them. All the way into the end, you guys are still thinking somehow that, okay, well, this rapture date was wrong. Well, we were wrong with the date. Here, just change this. You don't ever change your breakdown. You just change the dates. Your breakdowns never change. You just seem to think that the timing is always wrong. The timing is always wrong because the book has nothing to do with you. And it is very evident that the book has nothing to do with you. Just your actions. Now you guys are being much more forthcoming with how prejudiced you are, how prejudiced your church has been. You're just saying it like, and then you're trying to gaslight and you're trying to project as if somehow we're the ones that are prejudiced. We're the ones that have been doing all these horrible things when it's been you this whole time. Remember, we haven't had any power, so therefore we haven't been in any position to tell you guys anything. Everything that's coming on the earth right now is all because of you. It's all because of the things that you've decided to do. It's all because of your actions and your children. It's all because you guys have sat here and just, I'm just going to take all the benefits, but I'm not going to. But the curses I'll never have to pay anything. And there's nothing that could be further from the truth. And what you guys have to understand is with this spaceship that is coming, the spaceship was here during the last Exodus. Okay, if you watch the movie, the new movie that they had, okay, with about Moses. And if you see the 10th plague, you'll see this shadow that overtakes um, Egypt during the 10th plague, during the when the death angel is released, and it looks just like a spaceship covering Egypt. Okay, it does exactly what it looks like, and that's and then that spaceship was here and it guided us in the desert. It helped us when we were going to pass through. Um, we were passing through the Red Sea, and it also was there when we were fighting to take our lands back. When we were fighting against the Canaanites, okay, we were that ship was there supporting us, okay. And what you have to understand is now, this earth right now, it's starting in America, is like the new Canaan. You guys, your forefathers made agreements, and the agreements where you're not going to take over someone else's land. Canaan, right, when that agreement was established, went and took Israelite land, and they had it for a time. And when that time was over with and the Most High wanted to give that land back to us, that's when Joshua was sent, and he was reckoned shot through the land of Canaan with the help of the spaceship. Now all of a sudden this spaceship is coming back, and all of a sudden everyone is just, for the other nations, it's a comet. It's a comet. Well, it's not act like a comet. It's a comet. No matter how much proof the Most High shows you that it's not a comet, you're still going to stick with it's a comet, because that's what you guys stick with everything. It's a rapture. It's a rapture. Even though you guys have been wrong on every single date, you still continue with it's going to be a rapture. You're not a. It shows you that you are under a strong delusion, because of the fact that you cannot, like switch up and say, I was wrong. We need to talk to these Israelites. We need to look at what they're saying, right? Because that spaceship, CiAtlas, is part of our covenant. And they got it confused. See, this is what happens. Like when Yahushua was here, and they were like, "Oh, you're here." They thought he was a sign that the spaceship was coming back. They thought that's why they wanted to get weapons. They wanted to fight, because they thought that the spaceship was coming back. But it wasn't time for it yet, because if you look at the statue, from the head all the way down to the toes, that had not been fulfilled yet. Okay, Babylon, Persian Medes, Greeks, Romans, and the revived Roman Empire. They were only into the time of the Romans, right? But things have been going so bad with the Greeks, with the Inquisition of the Greeks and the Inquisition, of these Romans, that they thought, oh, he's here. We're going to get our power back. The spaceship's going to come back, and the spaceship's going to help us. That's why they were ready to fight. So they were disappointed, okay, because the spaceship hadn't come back yet. But see, now everything has been completed from the head to the toe of that statue. And that's why all of a sudden you see that rock coming and destroying this system. So now you see that after we've got this knowledge, because CiAtlas, as it gets closer, it increases our subconscious, it increases our conscious level, it increases our knowledge and understanding. We are connected with CiAtlas. That's why we are growing, right? And these people are diminishing, right? And that's what happened even in Egypt. As the ship got closer, we got stronger. Moses was sent, as the ship was getting closer. Moses was preparing the way, okay, for the people and then the ship to return. Now all of a sudden you start seeing, like, we're the ones that manifested this. January 10th, we were manifesting with Pluto. We were the ones that were manifesting with this. And now, as we manifested this, as the ship gets closer and closer, we get stronger and stronger. We get more knowledgeable. And as you can see, we have no adversaries. We have no one that can sit there and say, you're wrong. We have no one that can prove that we're wrong, because the ship has increased our conscious level. And as we have been, increased and more connected with the ship and more connected with truth, the other nations have been falling further and further down the hole. Falling further and further down every single day. And as you can see, that's exactly what is going on. They get less and less knowledgeable. They carry less and less weight, right? They don't have any. They have no knowledge. They have no substance whatsoever, right? So this is, and as you can tell, because like I said, they're not coming up with anything to go against what we're talking about. They're still saying that Jacob's trouble is coming for us. The things are going to get much worse for us. Again, the only way you can think like that is if you don't know history and you let the Gentiles dictate. And who is going to let the Gentiles dictate anything at this point? Unless you're under their spell, unless you're part of Psalms 83, because they've been proven to be nothing but wrong and nothing but a bunch of liars. Much love, family. Shalom.